Hello and welcome to a tutorial on modding in WWE 2K24. There are plenty of tutorials out there, but a lot of them have been causing people to set up their folders wrong, so I'm here making this one. I am Crusader. I am a helper on the PWM Discord. First off, you need to be subscribed to the PWM Patreon. Here's the link up here. It'll be in the description. You need to be subbed. You can be subbed to the lowest tier, which is Advocate, at $5 a month. With that, you will gain access to the Patreon role. Make sure that you connect your Discord to Patreon through the settings. When you do that, you'll gain access to this Patreon role, and that will give you all of these exclusive Patreon channels. We're going to scroll all the way up here to the initial CakeHook and Cakeview release. Now, what is CakeHook? What is Cakeview? What's the difference? CakeHook is the DLL that will allow the game to run the mods. Cakeview is the software that is used to bake. What is baking? We'll get to that. The MDL plugin and the YCL reformatter aren't necessary to mod. If you are creating mods or you are porting, that is something that you will need, but for now, not important. So we're going to download both CakeHook 2024-V2.0.0-hotfix and the input edit. The reason I say this is because if we open up both of them right here, as you can see, this file that is in the original post is not in this one. I am not entirely sure if this is a necessary file to have, but I have seen that some people cannot get their mods working without this. So, what I recommend doing, just go ahead and drag the input edit into here and grab this D3DX, put it in there. CakeHook is now installed. Cakeview, very simple. Drag this folder anywhere on your desktop or a folder within your desktop, as long as you remember where it's at. Don't put this in your directory because that gets confusing. But with that, you'll have all these files on your desktop. We'll go ahead and open this here. Right. You're going to double click on that, open up. When you open it for the first time, it's not going to look like this, or at least it's going to be kind of the blank page of this, right? Sometimes some people have had issues where their executable path is not set up correctly. If it doesn't look like this, go ahead and just click those three dots, go to your directory, double click on the exe, you're good. And then we're going to press this button up here, Open Game Directory. This will bring up all of these folders. It is basically just opening up all of these CAC files at once. This we will use as a guide at all times to set up your folders correctly. So let's set up our folders. First off, we're going to create a folder and name it Mods. This we're not going to touch. In a lot of tutorials, they have you putting your bake folders within the mods folder. And a lot of times people are coming in with issues where their mods are not working, and it's because of this setup. So we're going to avoid doing that. And by that, let's create another folder, and we're going to name that, you can name it Baked, you can name it CAC Files. That's what I like to do. Again, the naming doesn't really matter too much. Some people have it as underscore mods. You can have dash mods. As long as you remember what folder is what. Whatever makes sense to you. I'm going to name it CAC Files. We're going to open that up. In here is where we're going to create our folders, right? This is for organizational purposes, right? We'll create a wrestlers one, we'll create a GFX one, and we will create a weapons one, whatever. So now that we have created our wrestlers folder, we're going to add a new wrestler. The process is the same for pretty much any character mod, so you don't have to download the same one that I do. Download whichever one makes sense to you. But we're going to go ahead, and I downloaded the Jey Uso one just so we can get an idea of what it's like to change the attire of an existing person. And then Adam Copeland so we can get an idea of what it's like to replace a slot with a different person. So for Jey Uso, it is going to be very self-explanatory. Again, you can use CakeView to give you an idea of how to set up your folders. As we can see here, characters. If we scroll down a little bit, 333 is Jey Uso's ID, so we found Jey Uso right here. Awesome. We're going to create a characters folder just like CakeView says. In that, we grab Jey Uso's mod and drag it in. Joe Mashups has always set up things very easy for you. Some people, some modders might have it set up differently. They might have this blank so that you can name it whatever to replace whatever wrestler you want. Some have it replacing a character, and let's say that that's not a wrestler that you want to replace. Just like this one, Adam Copeland. And as you can see, it is not named Adam Copeland. It is named Josh Briggs, who is a wrestler in NXT. Let's say that we like Josh Briggs. We don't want to replace Josh Briggs. We're going to replace Ashante Adonis. I'm going to go on the wiki right here. All you have to do, go to the PWM website, browse wiki, and let me just go through the whole process. It'll bring you to this page. We're going to scroll down to WWE 2K Games, WWE 2K24, and then wrestlers. There are other ID lists, but most of them are on the Discovery Discord, and if you aren't a Discovery member, you might not have access to those. So this is the free, it's out there. Go to the website. Although it is not a straightforward ID list, it is actually a render or graphic list. The IDs are technically all the same. So, for example, like we said, Ashante the Adonis. We're going to go ahead and use Control 4, Ashante the Adonis. 1041 is his ID. So we'll go into CakeView because it's ordered by numerals. Even though it's 1,000, it's at the top because 1 is the first number. So 1041 is his ID, and here it is, 1041 Ashante Adonis. And all we have to do is rename Josh Briggs to that exact name. So 1041 underscore Ashante underscore Adonis. Make sure that I have that correct. Awesome. Yeah, we do. But we're not done. We have to also change these. So 1112 needs to be changed to 1041. But again, not done. Go in here, and we're going to change the names of these. Change the IDs to 1041. So now, that is done. We're going to go ahead and bake this. So we'll go into CakeView, new bake, CAC files, wrestlers, select folder. It should look like that. And then the name, the target name, again, doesn't really matter, but for organizational purposes, we're going to name it the same as the folder. And click bake and launch. You don't have to click bake and launch. You can just click bake and then launch the game separately. But just because we're going to test to make sure that this works, I hit bake and launch. So here we are in the game. We're going to go to entrance and victories just so it's faster to get into. We'll check out Jey Uso real quick just to make sure that his mod was done correctly. And if we take a look at his model, we speed this up a little bit. There it is. His mod added correctly. So now we're going to check Ashante the Adonis. He should be Adam Copeland. Let me just go ahead and prove that his model shows up. So that's Adam Copeland. So now, your next question is probably, well, awesome, Adam Copeland is on that slot, but I don't want to be confused, and I want to change Ashante's name and his picture to Adam Copeland. And that's easy to do. We're going to go ahead, close out of the game. We're going to go back to our folders. So to change his name, we're going to create an SDB folder. What I recommend the most is we're going to go to the website. Link in the description here is Superstring from iTwistedSpartan. Download this. Basically, it is a SDB file similar to the one that's in the directory here. The only difference is that there are preset names, arenas, and belts. Basically, he pre-made some changes that are useful for the future of modding. You're going to grab the SDB file that correlates with the language your game is in. I am going to put the English one. And you're going to open up this file with the SDB editor. If we go into the tool section, there is an SDB editor here. I am going to be using the meta one just because I haven't downloaded this version. But the process is pretty much the same. You're going to open up the SDB and you're going to search up Ashante the Adonis. I believe the SDB editor here, the search bar is at the bottom. All you have to do is replace these names with Adam Copeland or whoever you're changing out. I would recommend following the same capitalization that these are. So this one is not fully capitalized, so we're going to do that as well. And also, yeah, so Ashante the Adonis, his handle is different, so I'm going to just grab it from his page just because I don't know it off the top of my head, but there it is. And then we're going to go find Adam Copeland's social media that I also don't know off the top of my head. Rated R Cope is his handle. Cool. So just change that. Awesome. Save SDB. And then we're going to go ahead and bake this again. I'm not going to launch this time because I trust that this works. We're going to also add his GFX real quick. So GFX folder that you made, go into there. We're going to create this folder path. Movies. In that, you're going to create an SS folder and a Titantron folder. On the website, there are plenty of Adam Copeland or Edge GFX. There's this one from AEW, or if you go to 2K24 over here, not exactly this one, but this creator, Fultzy, who has taken the liberty to port literally everything from 2K23 into 2K24, so big shout out to him. He has the renders here and what we were looking for, the GFX. So if you are adding an Edge and you don't want to name him Adam Copeland, you want to name him Edge, and you want to get the GFX from 2K23 to keep the Edge GFX, you can grab one from here. But because I'm already named him Adam Copeland, we're going to grab the AEW GFX that are here. And before you get worried, yes, this is for 2K23, but don't worry, the file types are all the same. 2K23 GFX, 2K22 GFX are all going to work on 2K24. I already downloaded this, so we're just going to go and open this up. It is right here. This is what it looks like when you download it. Some of them are going to look different. Don't worry. all you have to do is set it up properly. So we go to SS. We're going to go back to the wiki, and we're going to copy this. This is going to be your folder name. So just new folder and paste it over. In this folder, you're going to put the files that are within the SS. Luckily, this modder has named these properly. But if yours are not named properly, this is what they should be named. You might find a extra file that is named barricade. Some of them don't have them, some of them do. If it doesn't come with one, you can just, in the entrance editor, set the barricade to apron video, and it'll work. So we're going to go back out, Titantron this time, and we're going to drag in this Titantron.bk2, and we just need to rename it to this right here. Copy that over, and there you go. Now our last thing to do is a render, which we'll just do that. It'll be a UI folder, assets, roster, and then type A. And if you are ever wondering if your pathing is correct, just take a look here in CakeView on the directory. We'll scroll down to movies just for our GFX, the SS folder, and then 1041 Ashante the Adonis. Awesome, right? Titantron, same thing. Open this up, you'll get your BK2 files, and they're named the same, right? Cool. Pathing is correct. If you ever need help figuring that out, just look in here and you'll find it. But we're going to go back to the render part of the wiki. Again, search up your guy, Ashante the Adonis. Copy that, and then we're going to go find a render. There are plenty of renders everywhere, right? You can just look up Edge, or maybe look up Adam Copeland. Cool, this one. Download it. Right, it's a DDS file. That is what we need. So go into the type A folder. We're going to drag in this DDS, and then all you have to do is name that properly. Now we are going to do the same thing. Select this folder, GFX, and then rename it to GFX. Now, if we launch the game, so now that we are in the game, as you remember, we changed the GFX, the name, and the picture, aka the render. We'll go ahead and open up here. We'll go to A, Adam Copeland. There's his picture, there's his name, and let's run into a game with the entrance to make sure that the GFX work properly.
You think you know him? Here comes a true
And there you have it. You have his GFX, you have his name, and his render. As you see there, it even shows it on the nameplates. So there you have it. That's how to mod. A couple questions you might have right now. If you noticed in the entrance, he still announces Ashante the Adonis. That is something that is possible to change, but you're only going to be able to do it with Mike Rome. As of uploading this today, Sound Editor has not released a voice trainer for Samantha Irvin or for Alicia Taylor. So you are only capable of doing it for the people here. Additionally, you could also, if it's a character from a previous game, you can just rip the sound files from that game and put them onto the slots. You won't be able to do it with commentary, although it is technically possible. It is a pain in the ass to do. Otherwise, most of the other stuff that you would want to do, like the changing of the location that is announced in the entrance, or, certain other stuff, are going to need to be changed through meta, which is found on the Discovery Discord. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and if there are more tutorials that you want to see in the future, let me know.